A variety of items were being set up on Rin's new desk. She hummed a cheerful tune as she lined up her sketching supplies, notebooks, mocha pot, egg boiler, and a fist-sized rock with a strange shape and eyeballs drawn on it. She gave it a pat on the head, like it was a living pet. The strange sight left people looking from a nearby corner, completely bewildered. "Tertiz, what is she doing?" Young whispered. Tertiz watched her friend's behavior with a blank expression and gave a dry smile. "Don't bother trying to figure her out. It's a waste of time. I've known her for ages, and I still don't understand her," she replied, then led Young and Mei over to Rin. "Rin, this is Pyong, one of our company's architects. And this is Mei from accounting. If you run into any problems, feel free to ask them. They're both really nice." "Welcome to Jintarin. We're like a family here, always helping each other out," Mei said warmly, just like Tertiz had promised. But Rin answered bluntly, "Hello, it's nice to meet you. But I don't really need more family." "Huh?" Young froze, just as stunned as Mei. "I've heard that any company that calls itself a family is bound to crash and burn eventually. Let's just be coworkers who get paid and do our jobs properly." Rin smiled, nodding as if she were just making a casual comment about the weather. Then, she turned and walked off, leaving the three of them standing there like they'd just been electrocuted. "The project I want you to work on is a renovation of a country house owned by Mr. Rain and Mrs. Mink," Akbab said, handing an iPad to Rin as the girl walked into the studio. On the screen was a photo of the client's old house. It immediately caught Rin's interest. "It's old, but still beautiful." "What kind of brief did the clients give?" "They don't have a clear idea yet. They just want to turn it into a vacation home for the two of them." Rin returned the iPad but accidentally knocked over a glass of water on the desk instead, setting off a mini disaster. She loudly gasped, while Akbab quickly rushed to save the papers and items on the table from the spill. Not knowing where to find tissues, Rin quickly took off her cardigan and used it to wipe the water, which made the owner of the room irritated by how sloppy and clumsy she was. "You can't use your clothes for that." "There weren't any tissues," Akbab sighed, silently wondering just how much she could count on someone so clumsy. "I'll do it." She opened a drawer, took out some tissue paper, folded it neatly, and carefully cleaned up the water. Rin, still feeling a little guilty, grabbed another tissue and balled it up to wipe the table in a rush, causing Akbab to quietly shake her head. "The clients will probably call us in to go over the brief soon. In the meantime, try gathering references and ideas to present. And until then, you can help the team with other projects." Rin nodded just as her stomach let out a loud growl. She let out a sheepish laugh. "I'm starving. Grandma, you owe me a delicious meal." That was the deal. "Already?" Akbab glared. "It's your first day. Maybe try focusing on the work first?" "But you already agreed." "Nowhere in the terms did it say it had to be on any specific day. Are you going back on your word?" "How about this? I'll order a bento from the usual place I like." "Sounds good?" Rin, who only meant to tease a little, was pleased with that answer. She grinned cheekily. "Fine. I'll let it slide since it's the first day. I'll get back to work now." While Rin had her task to complete, everyone else in the office was equally swamped with work. Tertiz answered client calls like a pro. "Hello, Mrs. Noy." "Yes, Tertiz is speaking." "I'm sorry, what was that?" "A doghouse? 100 square meters." "Absolutely, we'd be happy to take that on. We love dogs here at our company." Meanwhile, Young stood before a screen with his hands clasped in a prayer as he was rendering a 3D model for a house project. Sadly, the computer froze unexpectedly. Not knowing which chant might work, he started muttering whatever came to mind. "No, no, no. Don't you crash on me. Please. I'm begging all deities here. And begging you too." Other staff were busy trimming architectural models, leaving paper scraps scattered across the floor. If Akbab, who was reviewing designs in her office, happened to step outside and see the mess, she'd definitely lose it. Rin had focused on her assignment since morning, and when her phone alarm rang at 6 p.m., she saved the project, shut down her computer, and packed up without a second thought. "Where are you going, Rin?" Thaigl called out as she watched her friend rise from her seat.
"Home. See you."
"What?" Rin walked swiftly out of the office while the rest of the team could only blink in silence. No one said a word until 2 hours later, when Akbab came over to Thaig's desk in a hurry. "Who's in charge of the scenario project of Miss Fai's country house? She wants to take a look." "That's Rin's." "But she's already gone home. I'll try to get the file for you now." Thaigl called Rin immediately, but after 3 unanswered calls, the 4th was cut off. "She's not answering?" Akbab's question had Thaigl breaking into a nervous sweat. Just then, a message from Rin popped up on her friend's phone screen. "Told you I don't talk about work after hours." Also seeing the message, Akbab froze for a moment. Then it turned into fury, and her hand clenched into a fist. She summoned Rin to her office the next day. The tension in the room was heavy. "We already agreed that I don't do overtime, don't accept OT, and don't respond to anything after hours, didn't we?" "I didn't ask you to do overtime. I only asked that you pick up the phone or respond to a message when a teammate really needs your help. There are 8 full hours in a workday. Why didn't they ask for help then? Why do people always wait to bother others after hours? If it wasn't really urgent, no one would reach out to anyone after work. You're still very young in terms of work life. Things don't always go as planned, not even for me." Rin was offended by being called young and fired back, but it is the terms we both had agreed on. "I just hope an adult like you can keep their word." With that, she turned and walked off like it was nothing, with no concern for authority or manners, leaving Akbab stunned. She could hardly believe it. Kids these days. In the end, she could only vent her anger on her 2 older brothers. "Let me ask again. Are we really sure we need this kid? If not, I'll fire her right now." "Calm down, Rin. Kids these days just talk like that." Chan tried to console his sister, though it didn't help much. "In my life, I've never met any kid or anyone so utterly lacking in basic manners. If this were a Japanese work culture, she wouldn't have a place anywhere. No company would have taken her in to begin with. I get it, but we still need Rin's help. She's our edge. Just try turning a blind eye and being a little nicer to her. The old school, tough methods we got hit with won't work anymore," Pat said, also visibly stressed. "So what would work then?" "You need to go slow and win her over bit by bit. Show her that what she believes isn't the full picture. With fresh meat like this, you need a lot of patience." "Fresh blood," Chan corrected him. "That's what I said."
"No.
You said fresh meat, bro. What's even going on in your head?" Chan teased. "Shut up." Akbab ignored the bickering between her 2 older brothers, only focusing on the point Pat had made. Finally, an idea began to form in her mind.
"Fine.
I'll try the soft approach." Before either of her brothers could ask what she meant, Akbab had already breezed out of the meeting room. She returned with a tall stack of paper and dropped it onto Rin's desk. The girl glanced between the stack and her boss, confused. "What's this?" "I need you to draft all of this in CAD, and I want it done by today." Rin turned to look at the digital clock on the wall. "You're giving me this at nearly 3. A smart girl like you should be able to pull it off. But if not, it's fine. You can finish it tomorrow." "I totally understand. After all, you do have to leave by 6, Akbab replied with a biting smile. But instead of being troubled by the mountain of work, Rin stared right back with even greater confidence.
"Sure.
You'll have it all by today. I'm not staying past 6 either way. Go ahead and prove it then." The showdown between the new boss and the new hire had the whole company on edge. People paused their own work just to watch what was going on, especially when Rin opened AutoCAD and started building out the plans at a blazing speed. Every detail was done with skill, so sharp the crowd was left speechless. Damn, how's she doing that? Yong dropped his jaw. Now do you see why everyone in school called her Professor Rin? From a distance, Akbab watched Rin work, irritation creeping in along with the growing fear of losing face. Still, she had to admit that Rin's skill was impressive and valuable to the company. People like this are so frustrating. Later that day, Rin popped into Akbab's office, an external hard drive in hand and a victorious grin on her face. The girl placed it on the desk and nudged it toward her. All done. Everything you gave me. Rin stressed the word everything with emphasis. Anyway, I'll head out now. It's 6 already. You hang in there, okay? It looks like you've still got plenty left to do.
Bye.
Akbab couldn't utter a word, only staring at the girl's back until the door shut. Then she finally picked up the drive to check. On the back, Rin had stuck a post-it with a little face sticking out its tongue. P clearly to mock her. So damn annoying. Why are you so cheerful today? Did something good happen? Prim couldn't help but ask as her little sister came to help close up the cafe. Rin seemed extra happy today. Not exactly. Someone just tried to challenge Professor Rin, so I gave her the full experience. As she spoke, Rin struggled to pull the coffee handle from the machine. No matter how hard she tugged, it wouldn't budge, prompting Prim to step in. Work isn't just about winning, Rin. And it's not always about force either, the older sister said, gently guiding Rin's hand and pushing the coffee handle from the lock. The handle popped out with barely any effort. When you have teammates, you have to rely on each other. That's how things go well, like what we're doing right now. What's with the sudden life coach vibes? Rin pretended not to care about what her sister just said. Prim could only look at her with a sigh.